Let's talk to Reform UK London Assembly member Alex Wilson. Alex, welcome to the show. Your thoughts on this? It's good that Reform UK have got the go-ahead to launch this legal action. What will be the basis of it?
Good evening, Gavin. It's great to be with you this evening. Look, this shouldn't be necessary. We shouldn't be having to go to the courts to maintain and protect and defend the right to vote in local elections. It's an absolute disgrace that we've had to do this. Grateful that the court has said there is a case to answer, and that will be looked at properly in the middle of February, and we'll see what happens from there. Look, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know what the chances of success are. I think our lawyers, the party lawyers, have said there is a very high chance of success. But it's absolutely right that we take this challenge on, because we're looking at nearly 4 million people being denied the right to vote. Many of these were denied the right to vote last year in the local elections. 63 councils were invited by the government. 63, that's right. That's a lot of councils, by the way, isn't it? Yeah. It's a huge amount of councils. I think somewhere in the region of 28 have indicated they want to cancel them. And of those, I think 22 are Labour councils. Of course they are. Of course they are. Councils. Is it as many as that? I thought it was fewer than that. No, but...
One thing you have to realise before we go much further with this, hello everyone, welcome back. This is obviously talking about what Starmer has been up to with regard to, sorting out the cancelling of these local elections, or Starmer's government, should we say. And you won't believe what's just happened to him, because there's going to be court action over this. A couple of things you have to realise. Number one, if you have a look at the Bill of Rights, we have a constitutional right under the English Bill of Rights to vote in free and fair elections. It's all well and good them talking about having these elections run, but when it comes to running elections and people cheating in elections, there doesn't seem to be any appetite for dealing with that situation. But when it comes to running them, there is. What was very interesting as well, you see a map of the chunks. They're saying Labour councils, of course they're going to say Labour councils, but you look at the chunks where these elections are in question. There's a load down the south, and there's some up here. And then if you overlay the regionalisation map of England over the top of it, you can see exactly what's going on. It's a game being played out before your very eyes. There's absolutely no two ways about that whatsoever. Anyway, let's continue with this and see what they're saying. It's
22 Labour councils want to cancel, yeah, and we know, so what these Labour councils are being offered by the government. I've got to stress, the government says we're not cancelling democracy. It's common sense bureaucracy, because we're going to change council boundaries, borough boundaries, and this will create, if we had elections now, we'd have to have more elections in a few weeks' time when the boundaries change. So that's their official position. But what these Labour councils are in effect being offered is this, or the question they're being asked is, would you like to have your elections in May and therefore lose power, or would you like to not have them and retain power? Which option do you think most of them are going to go for? It's pretty obvious, isn't it?
Right. Before we go down this route, Labour are going to get a kicking at the next election. No two ways about that. But have a look at this. This is what they're doing to England. Scotland has already been regionalised. Rupert Lowe asked the question the other day, should the Senedd be scrapped in Wales? No, it should be turned into a parliament and give the Welsh the vote. Up in Scotland, same problem. They're regional assemblies, Northern Ireland too. This is what's happening here. And if you overlay the map of the elections that are in question down here, there's very big portions of the southeast, and piece by piece, you are seeing the dismantling of the counties and the shires right before your eyes. This is all fluff and nonsense dressed up to look like sour grapes on the part of the Labour Party. It's all very much part of the plan.
Absolutely. It's so nakedly political, it's ridiculous. There was a poll that came out, I think, over the weekend, that was conducted in these areas that are likely to have the elections cancelled, and it showed reform in a very, very clear lead. Labour set to lose about half of the seats they were supposed to be defending. So it's clear why they're doing it. And the argument that it's tied up with local government reorganisation, that's a smokescreen. In the past, when elections have been delayed because councils are being reorganised, they've only done that when the arrangements have actually been firmly agreed.
It's not tied to government or council reorganisation. I'll put the map up again and go and look which councils have actually been done, and then come back and talk to me. There's more to this. Yes, it would be convenient for Labour to, not have these elections if they are going to get the kicking they think they're going to get, but there is a lot more to it.
In stone, we know what the future configuration is going to be. That simply isn't the case at the moment. In most of these places, there's no consensus locally about what the new arrangement should look like. So the chances are we'll be in exactly the same position this time next year, with those same councillors saying, oh, we have to defer it again. It's absolutely disgraceful. So it's right that we as a party are taking this on as a legal challenge, but it really shouldn't be necessary. But it's not just us that's saying this. We've seen the Speaker of the House of Commons.
Yeah, I saw that. That was quite significant because, behind his Speaker's cloak, Sir Lindsay Hoyle is a dyed-in-the-wool Labour veteran, very much a
What we have to realise and remember, Lindsay Hoyle, that's a joke in his constituency. No one stands against him traditionally. I know Graham Moore did stand in the Speaker's constituency one year just to prove the bloody point. You're entitled to free and fair elections in Parliament. There's also taxation without representation as well. But Lindsay Hoyle, like anybody who's constitutionally aware in that place, will know what's going on and what it's all about. And you've got taxation without representation as well. Think of that. It's very big, consequences. I wonder what the judges will do with it.
Labour man, he has come right out and said that I do not believe in cancelling elections. I've had my ups and downs with old Sir Lindsay, but on this, good for him.
Yeah, well, fundamentally, he's a Democrat, and that's to be welcomed. But also, the Electoral Commission, the body that is set up to oversee the management and fair process in elections up and down this country, they've said there's no excuse for cancelling these elections. It's an absolute disgrace. But fortunately, at least here in London, we know that the elections here for the 32 boroughs in London will definitely go ahead. No ifs, no buts. And we as a party are taking that on as a real opportunity to make this a referendum on Sadiq Khan, give us the platform for that mayoral election in 2.5 years' time when Layla Cunningham will take on Sadiq Khan, batter his record, and we can get real change here in London as well.
Just to set the story out.
Let me know in the comments what you think about that. Do you think Sadiq Khan will get another turn? Do you think Layla Cunningham will get in? And what do you think will happen next?
The actual legal action will be, by reform, will be against the Ministry of Housing, Communities and Local Government. The case, if a date for a full hearing could be set relatively quickly, they would not seek to temporarily block the plan. So that's why you've got an early date to hear it. What in your view, I'm not a lawyer, you're not a lawyer, but what precisely will be the basis of this lawsuit? Will it be that cancelling scheduled elections is unlawful?
A battle in World of Warships isn't just a fight between caliber and armor.
The government should not have the power to do that. Short of extreme circumstances like war or pandemic, then the idea that...
That's exactly the precedent that was set. World War II, if you have a look at your history and the pandemic, that's exactly the precedent that was set. And there's been some fairly recent election law. That's a very valid point as well, where he said we're not lawyers. Anybody can read up on law. Anybody can get a basic understanding of what's going on. I'm just a working class private hire driver from, the southeast. I'm no lawyer, but I understand it because I read lots, and you can put the pieces together. Hence, I draw your attention back to this. It's all intertwined into a hell of a mess. And you need to work out what's going on, because when you do, you can start to take your country back. It's really very, very serious.
The government should have the power to cancel elections at a whim, to protect and extend the terms of sitting councillors, most of whom happen to be of the same party as the government. It's an absolute disgrace. So I imagine that will form the cut and thrust of what we'll be talking about. But as I say, I'm not a lawyer, you're not a lawyer, but we've got people on board who very much are, and they think there's a very strong chance of success. And even if not, it's absolutely right for us to be highlighting this issue because we've already won the political argument. It's an absolute disgrace that these elections should be cancelled. You and I both know that people should have the right to vote. Local elections are really important because it's about electing people to run your local services in your community, and these people need a mandate to do that. If these elections are cancelled, there will be a large number of councillors who, by the time their term reaches its end, will have served 7 years rather than the 4 years they've been elected to. That's almost 2 whole terms on the back of one election. There's no mandate for that whatsoever.
Taxation without representation. And it's very important that when people are elected locally, they are of the understanding they have to represent the constituents. Otherwise, they have no place being there. A lot of councillors, not all of them, there are actually some very good councillors who genuinely want to do good for their communities, but they end up being tied up with the politics of the matter and start getting into the spirit of the Conservatives versus Labour versus Lib Dems. And it's a shower of shite. It really is.
It's got to stop.
And just one last question, Alex. You talked about there'll still be quite a few local elections of areas of London, like the one that you're in. Around the country, do you know the tally of boroughs that are not affected by these potential cancellations?
Well, we have quite a complex sort of patchwork of local government in Britain, and I guess that's part of the reason why the government has launched reorganisation in the first place. But the elections that will be happening, so all of London, most of the metropolitan boroughs, and a smattering of areas which currently have sort of 2-tier county and district areas. But large parts of the country won't be up for election. But there should be, if everything goes ahead, there should be at least one council up for election in every region of the country. We'll see if that happens on May the 7th.
Yeah, you see, this is the point. Even if they succeed, or even if, what did you say? Was it 29 councils have accepted this invitation to postpone their elections? My point is even if those elections end up being cancelled or being postponed, I suspect there'll still be enough local elections unfolding to still send the message about Labour. So this big effort, if it is that, to cancel democracy, to spare Labour's blushes, I don't think it's going to work anyway, even if these 29 elections don't happen. So these are interesting times, and we will watch that court case when it starts on, did I say February the 19th? Where is it? Let me get that right. February the 19th. We'll watch those proceedings like a hawk. Alex, good to talk to you. Take care now.
There you go. So that's what's happening. Starmer is going to get his collar felt by the courts. How dare you cancel our elections? A couple of things I want to say just to finish. Now, I got an email earlier regarding the elections. I'll read you the first line. I'm not going to read the whole lot. Andy, not one of our local elections has been cancelled in my area. I'm not going to say the area. I wish the media would stop lying. The council that have delayed them, and their Tory councils as well, is not because of fear of losing. It's because the boundaries are changing. So if they run their locals in May, they would have to call another election next year. So a lot of this is really the media stirring things up to a degree. But what you have to appreciate is the underlying cause of it. Now, constitutionally, I refer back to the Bill of Rights, we have a right to free and fair elections. And that has been subverted by future laws that have been introduced, no less off the back of what we all had to do 6 years ago: sit indoors, look at the sky and play safe. Yeah, right, we know what a big scam that was. Well, have a look at this again, and I'll finish with this. If you have a look at the whole of England, it's a common law jurisdiction. If you have a look on the left of England, where Wales should be, it's a common law jurisdiction. We've got Scotland right up the top there, but we'll just leave that where it is for now, because they're a different legal jurisdiction, which means the United Kingdom can't be a country, and that is in the law books as well. Northern Ireland across the sea there, which, funnily enough, is called the St George's Channel, is a common law jurisdiction. And all of these counties and shires have the right to govern themselves, which is being taken away because of the centralisation of all the governance here. In London, this is what the Union of 1706, 1707 did. And this is now the next stage. What you're seeing is the dismantling of the counties and shires and the formation of unitary authorities. So all of this cancelling elections, and maybe they're a little bit, oh, we'll have to call one next year when the boundaries change and whatever, but this is the path towards this regionalisation, what you're seeing here. I get it, many other people do as well, and it needs putting a stop to. How do we do that? The ballot box? Do we campaign? Do we tell them? What do we do? You leave it in the comments, but this is all part of the pantomime, and they're so confident now. I mean, you look at Mark Carney in Davos, said NWO out loud. They're getting cocky, getting very cocky, and there's some very interesting things afoot. Let me know what you think in the comments. As always, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, share my stuff. I'll talk to you soon. Toodaloo.